In a midweek surprise, United Auto Workers Union President Shawn Fain announced that the strikes would expand once again, this time hitting Ford's biggest plant. Let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian to give us the details. Pras, what do we know right now?
Hey, Brad, on the 27th day of the strikes yesterday, a major surprise, the UAW calling that surprise stand-up strike at Ford's Kentucky truck plant. This is a massive move as this plant builds the F-250 through the F-550 Super Duty trucks, Ford Expedition, Lincoln Navigator. So now it doesn't touch the F-150, but Ford says the plant is responsible for $25 billion in revenue annually. So that's a big deal there, a big raising the stakes. And, so it sort of went down last night when CNBC reported that the UAW wanted a new offer by 5 p.m. with a meeting request at 5:30. Sources said the meeting lasted only 10 minutes before UAW President Shawn Fain said that Ford had, quote, lost Kentucky truck. The union further said that the strike was called for after Ford refused to make further movement in bargaining, unquote. It kind of marks a new phase here, as I mentioned. And Ford's response came quickly, saying that the move was, quote, grossly irresponsible, but not surprising, and that the move carries serious consequences for our workforce, suppliers, dealers, and commercial customers. So really big amping up of the UAW stand-up strike strategy here, and Ford kind of feeling the pinch at their big Kentucky truck plant. Kentucky, yes, that is correct. A lot going on.
I know, Pras. Well, it's hard to keep. You have a lot to keep track of right now with the UAW striking the three largest automakers, and then obviously expanding here by the week. It seems like, Pras, what do you think this tells us just about the timing potentially of a deal? Because there has been some chatter on the street this morning that potentially this could be a positive sign that we might be closer to reaching some sort of agreement in the next couple of weeks.
A lot of analysts talking about how do we get to end game quickly? Would it be the automakers locking out all the auto workers, or would it be the opposite with the union saying, you know what, we're going to hit the most profitable plants and force the two sides to come together, kind of reach an agreement? So I think you're absolutely right. I think this is kind of reaching that end game where the most pain is being felt, not just by the automakers, but also by the auto workers. The more workers that are on strike, the less money they get. It drains the reserve fund the UAW has for those striking workers. So I think it's we're coming to a head here, possibly, sometime the next month, we'll see. But I think it's just the rancor of this has sort of increased beyond what I thought a few months ago what would happen. This is kind of becoming a nasty fight. And if you're the automakers, you want to get that truck plant back online, but how much is it going to cost you from a further contract point of view? Is it going to make you so uncompetitive versus the non-union automakers that it's already lost to begin with? So we'll see how that calculus works. But yeah, I think you're right. I think this end game is going to come sooner rather than later because of the fact that there's so much pain happening. We'll see what happens with GM and Stellantis, but it could also affect them too down the line.
Pras, is there anything that we can extrapolate from GM being able to reach a deal in Canada and kind of put that towards some of the discussions that are continuing to play out right here in the U.S.?
I don't think Canada's the big factor here. Canada is a different system. They have national health care. So sort of stuff like benefits is a different story. But I think the big thing, Brad, was when GM agreed to add the battery plants to the master agreements for the UAW. So basically what they're saying is that all these joint venture battery plants will now come under UAW purview. They can unionize there. Ford and Stellantis haven't agreed to that. I think that's what the UAW wants. They want Ford and Stellantis to kind of agree to that, and then they would sort of maybe pull back. But that's the big sticking point right now, is what's going to happen with those future EV and battery plants.
All right, Pras, thanks so much for breaking all of that down for us.